Hello everyone, welcome to Hard Copy, where we bring you the people behind the news. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf, and it's great to be back. But I must thank most profusely my colleague Terry Ikumi, who held fort capably while I was away. Or Terry, we hope that you come back soon enough. Now, the 2019 general elections have come and gone. Winners have been declared, and the tribunals are about to get busy. Tonight on Hard Copy, I speak with Oshiomhole, chairman of the All Progressives Congress, on the aftermath of the elections. Oshiomhole, welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you very much, Maupe.
Well, congratulations to you at your recent victory at the polls.
Thank you very much, and we thank God.
It's one congratulation, though, that hasn't come from the opposition. The main opposition, the People's Democratic Party, they accuse you of having obtained your victory through fraudulent means. They think you have stolen the victory, and they've gone to the tribunal to challenge it. But how do you respond to, the accusation of theft?
Well, I think Nigerians have spoken loud and clear. When you look at the margin of defeat, President Buhari won almost 4 million more votes than Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And because they have come from a tradition of vote rigging and of writing results and arrogantly tell people who are affected to go to court, everyone who benefits from fraud has a tendency to suspect the other person can also defraud him. I think the elections were so clear. When, by whatever criteria you look at it, I believe that the elections were free and fair. If we have lost some area we thought we could get more votes, and you take everything holistically, look at what has happened at the governorship level and at the National Assembly level, only one who is blind by inordinate ambition and who won't readily respect the wish of Nigerians can use the word stealing.
When you look at the reports of violence that showed this election, it was less than perfect. Even you had cause to rave when INEC postponed the election. First and foremost, you were very unhappy, and you called for the resignation of the INEC chairman. Shortly after, 1 week after when the elections were held, they were still not perfect. And some people have said that in the manner in which even security agencies were deployed in these elections called to question the sincerity of the APC in terms of free, fair, and transparent elections.
This partly reflects the bias of a section of the media, sometimes including the channel. Because when you report violence, for example in Kano, you are unable to locate a particular person known to the people, and you choose to follow hearsay without visual evidence. And I will ask you, how many people were killed? So the point is that, first, we did not conduct the election. I have huge reservations about the way INEC conducted this election. INEC bias against APC is so clear. INEC was biased even in the way he dealt with our primaries. INEC was biased in the way in which he selectively used the car reader or the no use of car reader in some states. Where it suits them, they had said where car reader was not used, they should record 0. Yet, on paper, on evidence, we have several instances where they transfer this discretionary power to the RX, who then decide where to turn the other way and where to enforce it. That explains why states where we clearly won, they use the no use of car readers to rig us out.
Can you give us
so I'm never going to be in a position to defend this INEC that they were
what
free
state
and
did you
fair.
clearly win?
So it would be grossly wrong on your part to suggest as though this INEC was...
What state did you clearly win?
It would be wrong for you to suggest that this INEC was on the side of APC. If anything went wrong in this election,
yes,
it was substantially due to INEC attempt to favor some people. And I can say it to the face of INEC chairman.
I have talked about violence and intimidation.
Yeah, an issue of violence.
The issue of violence.
Now, I can give you an example.
Some people will say, and INEC has said, look, would you not run the elections? We're election managers, yes, but would you not run every aspect of the election? Security is not under our purview. It is strictly under the purview of the government of the day. The government of the day is APC. Can your party absolve itself of saying, no, would you not deploy security to our advantage during this election?
Yes. On the contrary, my view is that the security were largely compromised
by
corrupt practices, by those who have the money to buy their conscience. I have on my phone a text message I said to the IG, why will you allow XYZ to happen? Look at what happened in Sokoto. The security provide cover to ensure that there was disruption of an area in which they know was a stronghold, and to create a foundation to cancel the outcome of that election so that Tambuwa can win. My conclusion is that the security war for those who pay them. Can
we sincerely say the same thing about the situation in Rivers, where INEC in its report has said that the military was involved in trying to stop collation at the collation center?
What I can tell you is that we do not have a candidate in the governorship election where this has become a big issue. APC has no candidate. So we have no vested interest there to defend.
Some people say it is the hand of Easter, the voice of Jacob.
Listen. I am not here to defend the actions or inactions of the armed forces or the police, because I have my reservations in many cases.
How do you think this should be handled?
I think they were grossly unfair to APC. So I am not going to defend them and take this out of this conversation.
If you feel that there is also a slight to the APC, your party was also at the receiving end of the excesses of security agencies, how do you think that this should be handled, considering the fact that your party is in power?
Well, I believe now I want you to take every question, every situation holistically. Now, are you aware that the military high command, as we speak, is investigating the allegations against some of his men and officers in Rivers? But let me just tell you that APC has no governorship candidate in Rivers State. That is not a secret that I'm disclosing to you. The court has already denied us that.
You know that that is not the entire picture as well. You do know
that
that
the
APC has endorsed a candidate.
Not APC. I am the chairman of APC.
Yes.
I have never spoken, and I'm capable of speaking my mind. I have not spoken at any forum that we have now aligned or disaligned with anyone.
You claiming not to be aware?
Listen, there's only one party. That's APC. If there's going to be alignment, I will know.
And if you're not...
Now, that does not mean that...
If you're not in the know, or you choose not to be in the know, what happens?
Now, it depends on what... I can't choose to be in the know. If I can't know something, I choose not to know it.
You're not aware that your party in Rivers State has supported the candidate of the AAC?
That has never been discussed with me or with any of the members of the National Working Committee at any level.
Let's talk about Zamfara State, where the Court of Appeal in Sokoto recently nullified the primaries which saw your party produce candidates just, let's say, on the eve of the elections. Your party hasn't reacted to that, especially at the national level. What do you have to say about it?
It depends on what you describe as reaction. Going to the media to talk is not where the issues are decided. These issues are not resolved in the marketplace. Now, first, the case of Zamfara is a typical example of an extremely biased INEC. And I wrote to the INEC chairman to point out that he has come out too clearly to show his bias, as if he was determined to award the governorship of Zamfara State to PDP and to award 3 senatorial seats to PDP and award 7 House of Rep seats to PDP without any contest, and deny Zamfara people the right to vote for who they wanted. Because we conducted elections in Zamfara. We conducted primaries in Zamfara. And even before the National Secretariat headquarters of INEC received report from their resident electoral commissioner in Zamfara, they rushed out a letter. I'm on record in print as having written to INEC chairman to draw his attention to this bias when he said preemptively that we did not conduct primaries in Zamfara State.
Yeah, but
and I said, no, that is not true. And incidentally, I draw his attention that as of the time he was writing to us, it is a fact known to everyone that Kano did not conduct any governorship primaries in Kano. When they couldn't do it, they came to Abuja. They hadn't done their governorship primaries at the time when INEC wrote to us that we didn't do primaries.
Chairman,
and yet, INEC turned their eye. I think recently a high court ruled that Kano PDP did not conduct primaries, which shows clearly that INEC, has multiple standards depending on who they are dealing with and depending on the forces they choose to favor.
This is the appeal court judgment led by, and it was a unanimous decision led by Justice Tom Yakubu. They say the appeal court has power in law to access pieces of evidence on appeal, which we have done. Based on available facts, the respondent did not contradict the INEC evidence on conducting the said primary elections. The appeal court agreed with the lower court in Abuja, which INEC had said they were going to go with, that there was no primaries conducted. INEC has a responsibility to observe primaries being conducted by political parties. How come you did yours and INEC was not a party to it, or did not
they
witness
were a party to it. INEC can choose to witness what they witness. That's why I made a point, and I need you to take into account my response to your comments. I said the chief observer, which is the resident electoral commissioner in Zamfara State, has not even submitted this report before INEC wrote that we didn't conduct primaries. INEC wrote that letter not at the instance of any judicial pronouncement. Now, as for the findings of the Sokoto division of the Court of Appeal, that is their findings, but they do not have the last word.
I'm not talking about Zamfara anymore.
Okay,
I'm
so
using the Zamfara as an instance to bring to your attention what your party members say. A number of them felt that when you became chairman, they felt that your stance was rather hard. You felt that your party could think under your leadership. They have accused you of being very divisive as a chairman. Well, and this came up in the light of the primaries that were conducted in most of the states across the federation.
It doesn't matter what anybody says. Like I said then, trees that bear fruit always attract stones. But the result of the elections has shown that this time around, President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 defeated his opponent by about 2 million votes. In 2019, that was doubled to by 4 million votes. So we've done better. At the in the Senate, as we speak, even though we still have some hanging, we already have 65 senators. In the House of Representatives, we have 223 House members, which is a huge improvement over what my party recorded in 2015. So if the media-backed propaganda, which were not deep, shallow, and completely false, because the media seems to celebrate falsehood much more than facts, because fact doesn't appear to have much attraction. The result of the eventual election has shown that under my leadership, my party has done much, much better.
You're accusing the media.
Yeah, I do.
And some people will say it is
sometimes when I watch some of the
analysis. Because when you look at what happened in
not all the media, by the way, a section of the media.
When you look at what happened in Ogun State, for instance, the media did not conjure that. When you look at what happened in Imo State, the media did not conjure that. Those were typical instances of the divisiveness that had happened within your party.
Yeah.
When you look at the ruling of the fact that party members went to court in Zamfara State, that is not the making of the media.
And for you, this is news.
These are facts.
This is news that people go to court, and when they go to court, they are always right. Now look at the final outcome. Now you talk about divisive. That is part of the media bias, your own bias. What is divisive? That we conducted the primaries. A governor felt that he must have his way. The outcome of the primaries did not favor the governor. And because the party decided to follow the rule rather than submit to the intimidation of a governor, the party has promoted divisiveness. But Ogun people has resolved that issue by voting massively. And the party candidate, the candidate that was produced by that primary, has now been endorsed by the good people of Ogun State.
Would you say you
are not humbled by this fact?
Would you say you paid dearly for it in Imo State?
What paid dearly? No. Now, why you talk of paid dearly? Why don't you acknowledge that we have handsomely been rewarded in Ogun State?